Well, this morning in Health Watch, a Maryland man is being called a hero after his quick thinking saved his family in a bizarre bank robbery attempt. Two men took James Sproul, his wife, who was a bank manager, and their two sons hostage on Friday night. James Sproul is with us this morning. James, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris.
Can you do me a favor and just for the folks at home, just give me a brief overview of what happened on Friday night?
Okay. What happened was the two assailants, for what I know, must have followed my wife home from work. And me and the kids was in the house, and I was getting ready to go out, and my wife calls me, and I come out the room, and they had a gun to my wife's head and a knife in her back. And I said, oh, they said, come step out. So I closed the doors immediately because I didn't want my kids to be subjected to viewing what was going on. Then they brought us into the living room, and then that's when they tied me up. They tied my wife up, and brought the kids in, and then they put us all in separate rooms.
Now, at what point did you say to yourself, okay, we are in some real danger now? I know when you came downstairs, they were in ski masks. Like you said, they had the weapons. But when did you decide that, you know what, I've got to take care of business here, otherwise we could really be hurt, even killed here?
Okay, when they were supposed to separate us. Well, the plan was one was supposed to take my wife to the job to facilitate the robbery, and the other guy was supposed to stand by with me and my sons and tell us that if the guy who was with my wife, if the plan didn't go through, then they were supposed to exterminate us. So what I told him was that my aunt was coming over to help me out with something at the same time that he wanted my wife to go to the bank, so to keep the whole family together. So while we was in the car, I just kept thinking of something, just kept on thinking, because I said, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know if I take them to this bank, who's this guarantee to say that we was going to come out of this alive? So as we was driving down the highway, I was speeding, and we saw a state trooper coming in. He was just starting his shift. So what I did was I was in the left lane. I moved over into the right lane, which on the passenger side was the robber and my wife, because the passenger side. So he took his mask off. When he took his mask off, I swerved a little bit to be pulled over. And when the cop told me to see my license and registration, I handed him my bank card.
So it was at that time when the police officer came to your car, you then jump onto the bank robber at this point, taking your life into your own hands to save your family. There had to have been something. Did you realize you had this hero gene to take your life into your own hands like that? Or was it just, you know what, I'm not going to let anything happen to my family. If I have to go down this way, this is the way it's going to be?
Well, I feel like it wasn't so much hero genes. And like I said, I know about 10 good fathers, like I name right now. But I'm just saying, I know 10 good men that I surround myself with that are fathers. And I think any father or any parent would have did the same thing, given the opportunity to save their family. Because you feel like this. Who's to say among thieves that they was going to honor their contract?
Yeah. Yep.
So I figured I needed one chance.
Well, it was a brave move. Let me just ask you this, though. The police have two men in custody. There is a third suspect that's still out there. Do you fear for your life, your family's life, that they may seek retribution?
No, not right about now, because I have to credit the police. They're doing a diligent job and trying to gather up these suspects. They're working around the clock, and I'm glad to have them on my side.
All right. Well, James Sproul, thank you for sharing your story with us. I know you don't like to be called a hero, but you are. Nice job there, really. And give your wife, LaChrista, our best.